Start this recording. First, I'm gonna start. What up, though, everybody? All right, let's try that one more time. We have Morningside Café on the east side of Detroit. What up, though, everybody?
What up, though?
There we go. That's what I like to hear. So, what up, though, Black Fridays family? Welcome back to another installment of the Black Fridays podcast. Now, a little bit of background for the people who may not be familiar with Black Fridays. It is a platform where we spotlight and elevate our Black-owned businesses in the community who are leveraging their business in order to better their communities and leave it better than when they found them. Now, this is a iteration of the podcast Pull-Up. Shout out to my co-host, JG. Give a round of applause for JG. Mr. Audio Wave Network, also the king of the east side. Is the king or the prince of the east side? I just live on the east side. All right, fair enough. And we're very intentional in terms of the podcast pull-ups and being able to leverage this platform in order to make sure that we're putting our money where our mouth is, and then going out to the Black-owned spaces and making sure that we are supporting them the way that they're putting in work for the community, which is why we're super grateful that we got Jeff, who has been our host here at Morningside Café. Give it up for Jeff.
Appreciate it.
Definitely appreciate you hosting us today. And we really wanted to elevate the podcast pull-up experience and being able to not only come and patron the businesses that we're at, network with people, but also being able to get the story behind the business and the brand, which is what Black Fridays is all about. And then also the Audio Wave platform as well. So if you don't mind, I would love to first kind of just start with, you are Eastside, born and bred. This is your neighborhood, and you've been able to build Morningside Café into what it is now. I just wanted to know if we could start with why coffee? Like, why a coffee shop, and what made you want to do that for your neighborhood?
Right. We don't have a space like this anywhere in our community, whether it's Morningside, East English Village, Cornerstone Village. More times than not, you got to go over to Grosse Point, go to Starbucks. You got to go downtown to the variety of coffee shops that's downtown or in Midtown. So the Morningside in particular, it consists of 19 streets. So Morningside is one of the larger communities throughout the entire city of Detroit. So when I came up with the idea, it's like, you know what, we need a space like this where people can gather, have these conversations, network. And the rest is history. I tell people, you know, with this, if it wasn't happening here, it wouldn't happen anywhere else. You know, we were intentional with the location where we're at right now. So, you know, everything you see and, you know, what we do is all intentional. And, right here is where it's going to happen at.
Absolutely. And the vibes in here is incredible. The style of it, everything has been very carefully and well thought out. And so for the people who haven't been to Morningside yet and definitely need to pull up, what can they expect when they come here? Because it does have very community feel to it.
Definitely. You can expect a little bit of everything. Our whole concept, everything, as I mentioned, is intentional. So we wanted to pretty much do our own thing. We didn't want to mirror anyone else across any different venues or establishments. We wanted to do our own thing. So everything you see, the feel, the look, coffee and vibes is our motto. So we were big and strong on coffee and vibes. Everything is intentional. So, you know, whereas the customer service that we give you, the cleanliness, I'm big on that because that's what I look for when I go into an establishment. You know, I want to feel value. I want to feel welcome. And a lot of times, a lot of our establishments, they drop the ball on that. You know, they just solely look at it as a transaction.
Right.
Whereas at Morningside Café, we were really trying to connect with you. You know, we want to know what's going on in your day to day. So, you know, everything we do is community-based, community pretty much gathering and just, you know, bringing things together and really connecting with the people that, you know, surround us and patronize us.
Yep. How long have you been open up now?
We are coming up on a year and a half now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Shout out to that. Can we round of applause for almost a year and a half?
Appreciate it.
And to many more for sure. And in that 18-month time frame approximately, how do you feel like the community has supported this space?
They have definitely supported us to the extreme, man. Whatever we need. And unfortunately, we have experienced a few things, but, you know, the community has always had our back. In particular, we had a couple guys that tried to break in a couple days after Christmas.
Yeah.
And the community, when I tell you, they really stepped up and had our back. Like, they really came through for us. So the community has definitely, you know, they have received us very well. And that's what I love about it. We have our regulars. We have people who come in. We're open every day. So we got people who literally come in every single day, Monday through Sunday. So the community has had our back, and we're going to continue to have their back as well. And that's why we do what we do.
For sure. And thank you for doing what you do.
Appreciate it.
In terms of that incident where the guys had tried to break in or broken in, I know that I can only imagine what that feeling was like. So I wanted to ask you, number one, what was that like? Because the response that you put on social media was like, this is a very unfortunate situation, but we still open, like pull up. So, let me talk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, when I got here, I was pissed. I'm just going to be straight up. I hope that's cool.
Yeah.
I was mad, man. I wasn't even going to open up that day. Called one of my advisors. I told him what happened. He gave me some advice. But literally, maybe a couple minutes after I arrived and was, checking out everything, I had a couple of my regulars, and they saw what happened. They understood. They was patient. They waited. Like, Jeff, take your time. Whatever you gotta do, we'll wait for you. I mean, we had glass like everywhere. Like, it felt like I was sweeping up glass for that entire day. So that community aspect, like the people, they was there for us. They waited while we got things together, and we kept going. With a busted, shattered window, we kept going. So, it was tough, but one thing about us, we in the fight. We've been through some things, but we know this is needed right here in this community. So regardless of whatever, negative aspect that someone try to do, just gonna brush off his shoulders and keep going.
Love that. So real quick, I want to be able to have some fun on Black Fridays. I want to introduce you to my favorite part, which is Freestyle Fridays. Okay. So this I hope you got some rhymes. Like, are you a poet? Like, what you?
Oh, it's been a minute, man. I mean, I can put something together, but I don't know. I've been grinding today, so I'll see what I can do. I'll see.
For sure. All right, so you don't have to freestyle. Actually, it's just a random assortment of questions. They all about you, and we ask that you answer each one and answer honestly.
Gotcha.
All right, and then also I'm gonna get some crowd participation because we do have a live audience as well. Yep. So I'm gonna make sure we get them in there. But because we are inside Morning Cafe, I gotta ask you, as a coffee drinker, what's your order when you get a cup of coffee? What's your preference?
My go-to is usually an iced caramel latte.
Okay,
that's my go-to. I may do like oat milk or almond milk, but that's my go-to.
Okay. Yeah. I used to be big on those. Right now I'm a vanilla latte guy.
Okay. Yeah. That's like that'd be like my number 2 and number 3, but yeah. Okay. Caramel iced latte, that's the go-to.
Bet. Yeah. What's a song that you have on repeat right now?
Song I have on repeat? Oh man, I listen to a lot of stuff. I mean, it could be anything from jazz, R&B, hip hop. Kendrick. That's my man, and GNX album.
Yep.
TV off. Like, main time I hear that, I just let it play out.
Okay.
Anything Kendrick, I listen to a lot of older stuff. Nas. One big hip hop head, Tribe Called Quest, Slum Village. So that's like always in the rotation. But it's pretty much, it's a variety of everything.
Got you.
Yeah.
What would you say is your motivation or your source of motivation?
Source of my motivation, my family who's had my back, supporting me through day one. Shout out Kahela. She's been the backbone for me. My family, this community, we've been through some things, and throughout every hurdle, they've been there for us. Even when things were bleak, they still were there. So that's what keeps me motivated. That's what keeps me going. That's what gets me up 7 days a week. I still can't believe in myself. Like, I get up 7 days a week to come up in here, But that's the motivation right there, to serve this community, because they serve us, and we want to give them something that they will appreciate for the long haul.
Absolutely. So speaking of you coming in 7 days a week and always got showing up for your space, are you would you say you're a night owl or you're an early riser?
Oh, man. You know what? I've always been a night owl. Okay. Always. From the teenage years all the way up, always been a night owl. I'm talking about like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. So that's me.
Okay, that's when you get activated.
Yeah. Whether I'm reading something in the news or watching a movie, like, that's me.
For sure.
Yeah.
And crowd participation. Any questions from the crowd that we got for Jeff? Freestyle Friday. It could be anything.
Where's the best
Right here. Oh, you know what? My cousin, he went over to Thailand recently, and he brought a bag back from there. And when I tell you it was good, it was like a dark roast. It was extremely good. So that is definitely, most recently, that was some of the best coffee I had.
Fire. Go ahead.
What challenges did you have when you were opening this?
How long we got? Like,
So I got a list.
I could put together a little book for you, like for real. Challenges, securing the capital. That was one. Like, they took us through some things with that right there. Bad contractors. We experienced our, case of that right there. What else? COVID-19. That was definitely one. So originally Morningside Café, we were scheduled to open in 2020.
Okay.
But with COVID-19, pretty much any new business that was coming on the horizon has pretty much brought everything to a standstill. So we had to wait no matter what, even though we had everything dotted, I's dotted, T's crossed, we had to wait. That was frustrating, but it worked out in a way because, there was pretty much no traffic going on at that time. Everybody was at home for the most part. So I couldn't imagine if this had opened in 2020 and there'd just be the furniture for the most part.
Right.
So went through that. One of the biggest challenges we had, so after that, top of 2022, in January 2022, we were 2 weeks away from the grand opening, and we used to have a women's boutique right next to us that caught on fire. So that fire was so significant, spread right through the top of our wall and pretty much damaged everything.
How the hell they have a fire in the boutique?
Man, how long we got once again? You know what? So the lady, and this is what she said, which is probably true, but a lot of people in the community believe it was intentional. So it's a women's boutique. So a lot of women's clothing. She had the heavy draperies on the windows and throughout. She had candles lit throughout while she was in the rear of the building checking inventory and doing Facebook Live videos. And what's crazy about that, I was here, I had a couple of my guys, they was working, because remind you, we were 2 weeks away from the grand opening, so we were getting the finishing touches in place. So literally the day prior, we had furniture delivered, we have equipment in place, and I had Comcast here getting the service installed for us the morning of. So I sat in my chair getting ready to go on a Zoom call, and the Comcast technician came out from the alley. It was to notify me that the building next door is on fire. It's like, telling the building next door, I think you're talking about down the street, closest to the corner. And one of my guys who was here working, he was like, no, the building literally right to the left of us is on fire. So we went, to the alley to see what's going on. The lady, she came out with the whole act of coughing and crying and everything. And she asked if we can go in there to put it out. So, okay, we thinking it's something real minor that, can get a fire extinguisher and put out real quick. So me and my guy, I'm trying to remember his name, Wilmer. I'm sorry, not Wilmer, Frankie. Wilmer's his last name, Frankie. We went into the building, and when I tell you that entire thing was engulfing flames, like the ceiling was caving in, like smoke was everywhere. It was like, ain't nothing we can do. It's beyond the fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
It was a wrap at that point. And that fire was so intense, like I thought all this was gonna be a loss. Like it was that intense. The fire department, they got here relatively quick. And they said we were fortunate. If the fire had taken place at night, this entire building would have been completely gone. Like everything.
Wow.
So,
but we're here.
Yeah, we here. We made it. Yeah, you talking about some challenges, some hurdles. Like, man, we've been through some things, but we here.
Yeah,
standing tall
for sure.
Yeah.
One more question from the crowd. Go ahead.
What is your favorite part about owning a cafe?
Favorite part about owning a cafe? You know what? For me, the most rewarding part, the favorite part is just connecting with the people. That's my joy right there. I mean, we get everybody, young, old, black, white. We get all walks of life here, so that's the most rewarding thing for me. That's why I like coming here 7 days a week, because we see different people every single day. So that's the most rewarding part for me. That's the part that I enjoy the most because I'm here intentionally because I want to connect with our people. You know, I don't look at it just solely as a transaction. You know, I look at it as connecting with our guests, connecting with family and friends. You know, so that right there, that's what motivates me, and that's very rewarding for me.
One more question.
You grew up over here, right? You went to Philly.
Yeah, greenhouse.
Oh, you went to the Fin?
I did.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's like to have a business like almost less than a mile from where you graduated high school. How does that feel for you? Like every morning waking up and opening those doors.
You know, the crazy thing about that, man, going back to that time, there were many times I would walk by this building. 2003, I never imagined in 2025 or when we open 2023 that this is what I would be doing. I love this community. This is the community that made me who I am. Yeah, it's crazy, man, because, I mean, back then, this neighborhood was completely different. You know, there wasn't no vacant lots. There were no abandoned houses at that time. Then, of course, you know, the later 2000s with the foreclosure crisis, all that changed. And we lost a lot. Our housing stock in Morningside, we lost a significant portion of our houses. So, you know, to answer your question, like, you know, the place I went to school at, you know, and, you know, being a part of the community growing up and, you know, staying here and, you know, giving back to it, it's crazy. It really is. I really haven't thought too much about it, but, you know, yeah, I tell anybody, you know, wherever you stay or wherever you decide to move away or leave, that's cool, but it's also cool to come back. You know, we got a new generation coming up and we need to show them the possibilities, you know, and that's part of why I do what I do. You know, we get a lot of young people that come here and I talk to them, you know, ask them how school is going, ask them how, you know, home life is going. You know, we got to show them the way because unfortunately, government-wise, they haven't had the best example. You know, whether it's on a local level, state level, or a national level, they haven't had the best example. So, you know, us here on the ground floor, we got to show them, you know, what you can do, and it's obtainable for one, and, you know, show them the way. So, you know, whoever comes to my door, asks me questions, whether it's, you know, someone trying to start a business, trying to write a business plan, or it's a young person that want to know, you know, how did I do this? I make sure I take the time out to talk to them because you never know what they could do for them in that moment in the future. I say, you know, whatever they aspire to do or what they choose to do. So, you know, having a conversation, that's another thing that I love to do. I say, for me, it's my responsibility. You know, I don't look at it as someone bugging me or, you know, why you holding my time up.
Yeah.
I embrace it, and you know, I wish more of our leaders in the city and, you know, throughout would do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, because if we do that, then we'll start to see the turnaround. We start to see the difference that we want to see. So,
That's fire.
Yeah,
Give it up for Jeff from Freestyle Friday.
appreciate it.
That was amazing. So I got to ask you, you didn't have Morningside Café always in your life. So what's your background? What's your education in,
Yep.
professional background, all that?
So Detroit is home. Finney High School. I did my undergrad at Wayne State, urban studies. Then I stayed at Wayne State and got a master's in urban planning. So you talking about like Detroit through and through. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
Like in my heart, there's an old English D somewhere floating around. So yeah, that's my background right there.
Got you. So you came so did you come out of your master's program and then straight into Morningside, or like where did you work previously?
Yep. So pretty much after I graduated, I was a part of a fellowship called Challenge Detroit.
Okay.
I was a year 5 fellow, and we went on a tour across the city. We went and visited different businesses and nonprofit organizations. And one of the stops we made was the Artist Village over on the west side. Artist Village, they have the old theater and the coffee shop, the Artist Village coffee shop. And I was thinking to myself, like, okay, this is kind of dope. We don't have anything like this on the east side. You know, originally we were looking to open Morningside Café at the Elger Theater, which is a block down from us. And we was looking to do the same concept, but that did fall through. So fast forward, so okay, we can do something like this on the east side, and that's how we got Morningside Café.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe you're the first urban planner to come on Black Friday. So
Oh, wow.
how does that help with being able to develop a space like this?
Oh man, that's history in the making right there. So I'm happy to hear that. So everything from an educational background, I took bits and pieces of the principles that I learned and tried to implement them here in the business. Whether that's the design aspect of it, the community development component of it, the location, like pretty much all those factors and elements try to tie into Morningside Cafe. And I do it daily too, so I'm always thinking of different ideas of how to, maximize the space, our location, and tying both of those elements together. Urban planning is extremely important. My favorite subject coming up was geography. And I never during that time thought I was going to, go to school for urban planning, because I switched majors quite a few times. You look at my transcript, it's like 10 different, subject areas, subject fields. But, I love geography. I love cities. I love Detroit. When I was younger, we would travel throughout the city, west, east, and just see the different neighborhoods, what's going on the different sides of, town. And, that kind of inspired me right there. And that really, awakened me to see what was going on, whether it's good or bad. A lot of people say, or they used to say, there isn't two different Detroits. Well, there is. There's actually more than two different Detroits,
right.
So we got to acknowledge that. We can't brush that underneath and say it doesn't exist, because it does. You know, there's still certain areas of the city that's been forgotten.
Yeah.
East and west.
Right.
And, we got to really try to get to those places to make a difference. There's still a ton of abandoned houses throughout the city.
Yeah.
They try to promote it as if it's not the case anymore. But tell you, like, just drive around sometimes, you'd be surprised at what you see.
Right.
Because it still exists, and we still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
So with Morningside Cafe, East Warren is coming up, slowly coming up, and this neighborhood is slowly coming back. So, the urban planning component, always thinking of how to connect the community side with the business side and just bring them both together, and all those different elements, time together, so we can really maximize what a neighborhood is supposed to be.
Facts. Speaking of that, what are some aspects or misconceptions of the East Side that people have that to not be true, and would encourage them to come to more places like Morningside that's on the East Side and stuff like that?
Yep. The East Side's not dangerous.
No more dangerous than anywhere else in the city.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I tell anybody, regardless of where you go, whether you on the East Side, West Side, downtown, Royal Oak, just be cautious. Be alert. Be aware. At any given moment, something can happen anywhere. It's not necessarily confined to one particular side of the city or one particular area of a neighborhood. So just keep your head on the swivel. If something feels off or looks strange, and use your best judgment and cross the street, or just don't travel down that path. But the East Side is safe. What else? The East Side, to me, I love the West Side too. I got my family here; they're from the West Side. But
shout out to the West.
They right. Yep.
And they migrated to
right
for sure.
Yep. But the East Side is cool, man. You won't have any problems. The people were friendly. You walk down the street, they'll give you a head nod. They'll say what's up. They'll talk to you. East Side, we have access. The parks, the Detroit River. Like, that's what I tell people. Like, we have the access to a variety of things. So and the East Side has a lot to offer. Different amenities. You name it, we have it. So I tell people, like, it's okay to hang out downtown too, but don't be afraid to branch out a little bit.
Right.
Detroit is 140 square miles, so there's a whole lot more to the city than just downtown and midtown.
Absolutely. So, Jeff, what do you feel like is next for you, next for Morningside? What do you see in your crystal ball? We always share these things on Black Friday so that we can see them come back in fruition. So what you thinking for the future?
You know what? It's funny, and I won't say it's funny you asked me that, but, I think about this often. So when I initially came up with this concept, my whole goal was just to solely have it here in just one location only. But I know we have a potential to do a lot. This place has inspired a lot of people, young and old. I get people coming all the time, like, Jeff, we need a Morningside Cafe on the west side. We need one in the suburbs. I don't know what that will look like in the next year or two. Would definitely like to expand, because I think we have a concept that, will succeed wherever we were to go next. But one thing I will say, Morningside Cafe will be here at this location. This is home base. So whether there's multiple locations, throughout the city or the state or across the nation, this is home base right here. So hopefully we can do that. I got a few other things in the back of my mind. Morningside Cafe is not the last. I got some things I'm really thinking of and really passionate about. And we're going to make it happen. We just got to continue to build this up. And that's my mission and focus right now. Build this thing up to what it's supposed to be, what it's going to be. And just watch out, because we got some things in store for sure.
Absolutely. And we didn't talk a ton about coffee, but obviously this is a cafe. So how cold are you at being a barista? Like, do you feel like you top tier now?
I'm top 5, man.
And not 5?
I'm top 5. I mean, you talk about in the NBA, you got Luka, you got KD, like in the coffee, you got whoever, you got me, like we all top 5. So, we killing it. Pay attention to our Google ratings constantly, and make sure, I take the time to respond back to those people who leave a review for us. And the feedback has been positive.
Nice.
Like, I take everything I do here seriously. Like, I don't take this for granted.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you, half-hearted effort. Like, I'm going to give you my best, whatever it is that we do, whether it's making a cup of coffee or making sure our place is clean, making sure our restaurants is clean, making sure the customer service is always at the top. I don't care how I feel that day. I don't care how tired I may be. I'm going to greet you with a smile. We're going to talk. And when people come through our doors, I want that to be the best experience of their day. Yeah. And the same as if when they exit in our place. So, we care about our people, and we're going to give them the best every time.
Absolutely. And I'm assuming you have a team to help you with this. It's not all on you.
Family, definitely. My family pitched in. I got my cousins here. They help me, over time to time when on this side of town. It's very much family based for the most part.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Jeff, where can the people find you? If they want to tap in Morningside Cafe, can you give them the address, the socials, the website, so they can tap in with you?
For sure. So we're located at 16369 East Warren Avenue. East Warren. Yes, sir. Warren up. We're on Instagram. You can find us at Morningside Cafe. We're on Facebook, Morningside Cafe. Our website is coffeexvibes.com, coffeeandvibes.com. You can find us there. We usually have updates. And just follow us and come check us out. If you haven't had the opportunity to check us out, I tell people all the time, like, this is something you need to come and check out. Sure. Not just to come and see me, but just check out what we have built, what we're building, and you won't be disappointed.
I agree. This is my first time in Morningside Cafe. I heard about it a ton, and I'm not disappointed. And so, yeah, everything here, top tier, well thought out and intentional. So thank you. Thank you for building this. Thank you for hosting us in the space today for the podcast pull up. And thank you for sharing your journey with us, man, because it's definitely important. And I don't think it was a thing that you said that shouldn't be heard by those who are trying to pursue their dreams, or especially if they're trying to do something impactful in the community. So we appreciate you, man.
Definitely appreciate you guys very much for the opportunity, for sure.
Absolutely.
You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you. I will be back for sure.
Definitely. Look forward to it. Definitely.
Everybody watching and listening, we're going to tap in with y'all soon. Peace.